It's Gorman in the Morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the Morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Good Wednesday morning. I'm here alongside Fletcher.
Oh, my God. We're already at Wednesday.
Ryder.
Fat chance.
Okay, then. And we are on our way. Good foot forward. I'm feeling Minnesota on a Wednesday morning, which means it's time for Paul Fletcher to tell me what's happening in the world, sir.
Oh, my God. Pigeons on the plane. Get these pigeons off this plane.
Okay.
2 pigeons got loose on a Delta flight yesterday. First one didn't feel like flying, so much was just snagged and removed. No big deal. But just as the plane was taxiing for takeoff, a second was discovered, and it had some other plans. It's a pigeon.
They're losing it over these pigeons, and I believe this flight was from Minneapolis to Madison.
Yeah. No clue.
Used to birds.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pigeon. No clue how the pigeons got on board, but after a return to the gate and a baggage handler was able to remove the second bird, and Delta got on from MSP to Madison without issue.
I'd be surprised if I saw a bird on a plane.
Sure.
I'll be honest. I don't know that I'd scream.
Yeah.
I think I could immediately recognize, it's just a pigeon. It's not a velociraptor or some bizarre, its claws and beaks aren't coming for me.
No,
It was
absolutely.
like flying down the aisle, and some dude wrapped it in his coat.
Nice.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Snagged himself a pigeon on a plane.
And, of course, we're always looking for something free. A couple passengers were saying, I need a free wine after this. Like,
for God's sakes.
Yeah, calm down.
I mean, if I could get a free flight out of it, I might feign some screaming.
Man,
Okay.
what were those childhood books? Pigeon Drives the Bus. I used to rock those with Marley back in the day. A whole pigeon series. Pigeon on a Plane. Another one waiting to happen.
Guitar icon Rick Derringer died on Memorial Day due to his heart suddenly giving out. His wife, Jenda, told TMZ that he died, quote, peacefully after being taken off life support following a medical episode. His first song came at the age of 17 when his band, the McCoys, released Hang On Sloopy. What a jam, man. That was a great song. Still is, I guess. He made his mark at working, though, with artists like Alice Cooper, Todd Rundgren, Barbra Streisand, Cyndi Lauper, and even Weird Al Yankovic. But he also recorded solo hits like Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. My kids know that one thanks to Stranger Things. And the iconic Real American Hulk Hogan's theme song. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So rest easy, the great Rick Derringer.
Right on, Rick.
Absolutely. The enhanced games, which will feature athletes who will not be drug tested, are going to debut in Vegas in May of next year, a year from now.
Hell yeah.
The athletes will compete in 5 core sports, including swimming and track, and are encouraged to use whatever enhancements they want.
I love it.
Anti-doping agencies suggest the enhanced games are a, quote, clown show, while organizers of the enhanced games suggest that the current anti-doping rules are outdated.
Yeah, the clown show is the fact that every athlete on the planet, in just about every there is an athlete in every sport who's juicing right now that They have no ability to. The criminals are always way ahead of the cops when it comes to doping. So I'm not suggesting that all sports and you should just take all the rules off. But I am happy somebody's doing it. It's like, you know what? Let's drop all the pretense. What do you got? How much can your body withstand? I mean, I'm not going to think it's great when I'm watching a guy do the 110-meter hurdles and his head explodes, but I'm going to still. But trust me, I'm going to watch.
What if his thigh just blows up? I mean, that could happen, I suppose. Hey, it's a great day, National Hamburger Day. DoorDash looked at the most popular type of burger in all 50 states. Here's the problem. Apparently, chicken burgers are the most popular type of burger in America. I don't even know who we are anymore. What does that even mean?
Okay,
That's
so
nonsense.
Is this ground chicken, or is this just a chicken sandwich?
Well, to me, if it's not ground chicken and rolled into a patty and cooked like a burger, then it's not a burger. It's a chicken sandwich, right?
Okay. Yes.
But it doesn't make that distinction. Only that 17 states choose chicken burgers as number one.
This is
veggie
through DoorDash?
This is through DoorDash. Yeah.
Who here's ever had a chicken burger?
Are you on Uber Eats or something like that?
I'm not on any of them.
No, I'm not on either. No,
I don't like delivery food. I don't trust it. It always takes too long. I have to wait. It stresses me out. So I wonder if the guy's going to find the house. No, I'll just go get it.
Well, what's the best part of that meal? It's right when it hits your table and you eat it hot and fresh, not after a 15-minute, 20-minute car ride.
And by the way, if you're grinding up chicken to make just go get turkey. Turkey burger I can deal with. Chicken burger, I don't know, something about that's just totally wrong.
No, I totally agree with you. I think it's nonsense, but it was an excuse to bring up National Burger Day, which is one of my favorite days.
Hell yeah, that works
Proper
for me.
cheeseburger, please. Federal officials say a 23-year-old Brooklyn Center woman has pleaded guilty in a black market travel scam that involved using stolen credit card information from more than 200 victims. Regina Calhoun admitted in court that she bought the stolen data on the dark web and used it to operate, quote, as a black market travel agent, charging customers a fraction of the real cost for hotel rooms, rental cars, and even flights. Calhoun pleaded guilty on May 19th to access device fraud and aggravated identity theft in U.S. District Court. A sentence date has not yet been announced. What is it with Minnesota and scams? Like, we are becoming scam capital of America.
I don't even understand a word you just said.
People are still using travel agencies?
That's what I'm getting at. I'm
Right?
sorry. Did this story just come in from like LexisNexis from the mid 90s? What the hell are we talking about?
I mean, but here's the thing: if you can permeate people and get a hold of them somehow, some way, reach out to them, set up a whatever. If it's a fraction of the cost, you're going to get people to bite. Which I don't, because I'm always skeptical.
I don't answer or click on anything. It's real simple.
Agreed.
The bad wisdom is if you think it's too good to be true,
Yeah.
it probably is.
Good point.
Correct. 100% correct. SpaceX carried out the 9th test flight of its massive Starship space vehicle last night, achieving mixed results as the spacecraft successfully reached orbital velocity, but disintegrated upon reentry.
No.
Yeah, not ideal.
No.
It was an uncrewed ship, so it was just the ship we lost, not humans.
Uncrewed as in no crew members on board.
Correct.
Not lacking oil. Okay, got it. Sorry, I was like uncrewed. Oh, CREW. Oh, got it. I was confused.
They spun it off. But you know what? It did survive re-entry, I guess. They spun it into the Indian Ocean, I guess. So
I was happier when guys in lab coats sent men to the moon in a toaster oven. That was better for everybody, wasn't it? The private space, those words shouldn't be in a sentence together, in my opinion.
It's
fund NASA. Let the smart guys do it.
It's amazing to me that a private entity can afford to do this repeatedly and go through all the bumps.
Not very well.
Well, I mean, it takes a minute to get it right.
Yeah, well, we were there 50 plus years ago.
That's fair. A woman claiming to be Freddie Mercury's secret daughter has come forward for the first time in a new biography about the legendary Queen singer. She's 48 now, has identified herself only as B, and it's all covered in an upcoming book called Love Freddie.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, who?
That's
Like, it's crazy.
insane.
Yeah, it is insane that like all of a sudden, what? Freddie's got her daughter?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think
I'll bite. I'll be interested. I'm curious to see what's going on over there.
Yeah, I mean it's Freddie Mercury after all. We'll dive into this in a bit, huh?
All right. Sure.
Okay.
Sounds good.
A follow-up to the successful Top Gun Maverick film is in the works with plans of a Top Gun Las Vegas immersive experience that'll feature jet simulations and thrill rides.
Okay.
But also, director Christopher McQuarrie says he's revealed that he has cracked the story for a potential Top Gun 3, stating that it was not difficult to come up with the concept. McQuarrie emphasized the importance of emotion in the Top Gun films and how it drives the storytelling process, indicating...
Emotion like airplanes blowing up?
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
Bro,
look,
Goose died, okay? Goose died!
40 years ago.
Yeah, well, other people died in the new one, too.
Yeah,
Maybe they did.
me
I don't
every
remember.
time I see Jennifer Connelly. What sort of emotion are we supposed to? But seriously, take away all of the airplane scenes and tell me who cares about Tom Cruise at 60 acting 40. Nobody. It's all about those planes. It's all about the fight scenes.
Yeah.
The emotion.
Yeah.
Stop.
Just give me good action, really. I mean, that's what I'm all for in that.
So wait a minute. They killed Goose in the first one. They killed Val Kilmer in the second one, or basically let everyone know that he was dying in
On
the
his
film.
outs.
You know,
What? They killed the
Iceman. Well, they did he die in the movie? I don't remember. He was sick. They said
was
goodbye.
sick. Yeah,
they said goodbye.
He
It's
passed.
only been 5 years. I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
That means Jennifer Connelly's got an X on her back now. I'm not going to this next one.
No,
Don't kill Connelly.
it's
I can't-
over her
I
for
can't-
her?
I can't take it.
I'm with you, though. Like, let's just let her live to be 200.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I got.
All right, in the world of sports, the Minnesota Twins beat the Rays 4-2 last night. By the way, it's always great watching Rays highlights this whole season. They're playing the whole season at George Steinbrenner Field That's the Yankees spring training ballpark.
Oh, my God.
That's where they're playing all year.
Highlights. I was like, what the hell is
The
this?
Tropicana Dome wrecked by Hurricane Milton, so they don't have a place to play.
Well, Tropicana Dome is a dump anyway.
Well,
That's
yeah,
true.
it is.
I was
And now
like,
they're playing
this
it.
looks much nicer.
You're saying Milton was an inside job? Joe Ryan, my guy, my buddy Joe, had a hell of a night last night. 5 hits and 1 run across 6 innings. Tested a few times. Every time they got base runners on, he shut them right down. The Twins have won 17 of 21.
That's
Not bad. And last night ended Tampa Bay's 6-game winning streak. In the second inning, Cody Clemens, for the 5th time in 50 at-bats as a Minnesota Twin, went yard. Listen to the sound on this.
0-1 pitch to Clemens, and he drives it deep to center, and that's going to carry out of here.
Aluminum bats or what?
No, that's not the bat on the ball. That's the ball landing in what looks like a deer stand. So out in the outfield, at Steinbrenner Field, a cameraman's in this little box with a tiny hole and a tarp, and the ball goes right into that hole and damn near takes out the guy's laptop.
Yes.
Like he pulls it out of the way. It's the shot in Star Wars. Use the Force, Luke. You couldn't hit a baseball into that tiny hole if you tried. But in the Death Star scene at the end, boom, take away the goggles. It's one of those shots.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Luke
Really
had the Force.
Just wanted to point out the fact that Cody Clemens has gone yard 5 times in 50 at-bats. Not a bad average.
And apparently he's one with the Force.
Looks that way.
He's a Jedi.
The Lynx are 5-0.
Damn.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Last night, Courtney Williams had 23, Nafisha Collier 16, and Kayla McBride came back after the first 4 games of the season. She was out for personal reasons, back on the court. That's a damn good ball club. The Timberwolves, the other basketball team in town, down 3-1 on the road tonight. It is win and come home, hopefully. Lose and you're done for the season. 296 playoff series in NBA histories have had 3-1 deficits. Only 13 teams have come back to do it. Let's make it 14. What do you say, boys?
Sure.
Here's what it comes down to. The Wolves won Game 3 because they were completely desperate. They knew that losing that game meant the series was over. Now they're back again, completely desperate. That's the best chance they have.
They should have been desperate in Game 4 too. This is the finals.
Have you ever watched sports?
This isn't.
It's not how it works.
Freaking Game 30.
That's not how it works. There's a subconscious level that it doesn't matter who you are, how much you get
I've
paid.
watched sports. It's ridiculous. Have some freaking desperation.
It's a little tough to say. Otsego, good to have you with us this morning. Otsego, Minnesota.
Good town. Lived there for a while.
Did you really?
Yeah, 6 years.
Wow. Did you ever get arrested there?
No.
Well, then did you really live there? I mean, come on. L-I-V-I-N.
You know what? I survived a homeowners association. Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
I got out.
All right. How about this? All these years, finally some information coming out about Freddie Mercury's biggest ever secret. There's a new book coming out about Freddie, and the author has uncovered the fact and is now sharing the fact that apparently Freddie has a daughter.
Yeah.
A daughter that he knew about.
Right.
A daughter who was raised with the knowledge that she was Freddie Mercury's daughter.
Correct.
So she's got to be, he died in 91.
Yeah.
And so, she's at least in her, but this goes.
We need to do some math real
But the
quick?
relationship dates back to the 70s, so she's got to be pushing 50 is what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, she's 48.
48.
Apparently, he's a medical professional in Europe.
Okay.
The crazy part is how she was conceived. She's allegedly or apparently conceived during an affair between Mercury and the wife of a close friend in 1976.
'Twas the 70s.
And
Sure.
right?
Okay, Freddie Mercury was gay, though, right? Like, I remember my dad explaining what gay was and using Freddie Mercury as the example.
Which means that he probably preferred the company of men, but certainly doesn't eliminate the possibility of enjoying the company of women on the way as well.
It was a crazy time.
Well, and let's also think about the complex times it would be to be gay in the 70s. It's not so easy to just come out.
Easier for some than others. Fred had a hell of a life going, I imagine. Yeah, but that doesn't mean he wasn't attracted to a woman at some point. But this woman says
no kink shaming here.
So no. So but my question is, what is it like so she's a medical professional, so she's 48 years old, this entire adult life of, I wonder if I can tell anybody, because obviously the people that do know have kept this incredibly interesting secret. They've done a very good job of keeping it that secret. Imagine being 48 and like finally you're like, yeah, you know what? Screw it. Hey, my dad's the greatest frontman in rock history.
But then is there this problem, like who would even believe her?
Right, very true.
Who Freddie Mercury is.
Very possible.
Well, and even the lady Leslie Ann Jones is the person who's writing this book, Love Freddie. Even she says she doesn't know with 100% certainty, but she's like, why would she make all of this up? She's asked for nothing. She's worked with me for 3.5 years.
Okay.
You know, I mean, why would she spend her lifetime building up building a facade, if you will, and not trying to get anything out of it? So she's about as credible as it gets.
And she did say that there's somehow they've done a DNA test. This woman says that there's samples of Freddie's DNA somewhere. They've been able to test it to confirm, but we'll see. We'll see when it all comes out, I guess.
Yeah, the other part that I think is cool is just how involved. Apparently, Freddie was involved the second that involved in her life the rest of the way, and he also started writing diaries chronicling his life once she was born, and so that's what she has given up for this book. So
she has those diaries.
She gave them to him, and she says, quote, she's going only by B. That's it. She doesn't want to be known. She doesn't want to be.
Sup, B?
Yeah, what up,
B? How you doing, B?
Yo, B?
I like that.
She says he entrusted his collection of private notebooks to me, his only child and his next of kin.
Well, let's get a handwriting analyst on those. Let's start there. If the handwriting checks out, then we'll go for the DNA test.
I'll tell you what, if this is all real, this book's going to be fascinating.
I would imagine. I'm already fascinated.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if you come home from work and you're having a bad day and you're feeling pretty stressful, trust me when I say your dog picks up on that. My dog doesn't. He's an idiot. For the dog owners out there, listen up. We're talking about dogs. Okay. Dogs are good people.
Yeah, I like dogs.
Man, big fan of dogs myself.
Agreed.
A new study surveying dog owners and their own relationship to their dogs when they're feeling particularly stressed at work. If you have a stressful job or if you're a stressful person generally, do you pass that on to your dog? Spoiler alert, yeah, your dogs pick up on your stress that you come home with at the end of the day. And I know this to be true. I've had 2 dogs in my adult life. Me and Rosemary, we're on dog number 3. But Clementine and then Zelda, both entirely empathetic beings, would very much pick up on our vibes. And I know that now, especially because I have a dog now who doesn't. Chauncey. Chauncey is all about Chauncey. It's time to eat or it's time to walk. Or I'm going to curl up and take a nap. And whatever you're going through, dude, it's on you. That's on me. I'm still gonna blow snot on you when I try to snuggle up later. That's how he rolls. But yeah, we do know this to be the case. If you've had a dog, Clementine used to pick up on our vibes like immediately. I mean, I always said she could have been one of those dogs that they turned into like a disease sniffing dog. She was just so intuitive, so in tune with us. That dog read my mood before I had even noticed I was in a mood.
The most impressive dogs are the ones that can like sniff out epilepsy.
Yeah.
That is just phenomenal.
Incredible.
So yeah, the stress thing doesn't surprise me.
No, the amount of, and now, there are dogs that are sniffing out cancers and stuff. They have dogs finding all kinds
Are you
of
serious? I didn't know. I didn't.
Absolutely.
Wow.
They're sniffing it. If they can find a truffle buried 12 feet below the Belgian forest,
that's true.
They can find the beginning of a tumor inside someone they care about.
We get this with Charlie right now, for sure. Probably the most intuitive dog that I've ever had. I've seen it myself because we all have our ebbs and flows, right? We go through 3, 4, 5 days where we're just on top of the world. Everything's great. And then you have 3 days in a row that are just kind of like, right? She's so distant. When I'm in an she's like, I want nothing to do with you, man. I'm like, I'm not, throwing fits. She's just like, you're a downer, man. I want nothing to do with you. I'm going to go chill on the bed.
She's exhibiting emotional contagion. That's the term.
That's what it's
Dogs
called?
pick up on human feelings through tone of voice, body language, and other subtle cues. Again, not my dog, but plenty of yours. I'm not kidding, man. Chauncey's so dialed in on just whatever he's needing in that moment. He doesn't. You've seen him.
Good for him.
He comes in. He's just like, hey, what's up, man? I'm here for you guys to love me. And as soon as these microphones turn on, he goes down. He goes right to sleep. He knows. Oh, he's not paying attention. I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't care what he needs.
It's true.
I don't care if Dad needs some support from me. He's giving me nothing. I'm checking out.
You're his emotional support animal.
Oh, that's 100% true. Make no mistake
so if the
about
dogs can sense stress, do they like help you out with that, or do they freak out and they leave you alone?
Well, Charlie,
mine doesn't help with anything. As soon as Charlie senses me in a bad mood or just not feeling it, she's gone. See you later. She's distant. She's away.
Now,
but she does actually come to my wife. Whether wife is up or down, she's like Velcro to her.
Now, this study that I'm looking at, this is specifically about work-related stress. This is about coming home at the end of the day,
right?
And can you check it at the door or do you bring it home? That's specifically. As far as the stress within the family, the general, we not only between you and your partner, but if there's kids involved, there's a lot of build up. There's a lot of crock pot. Need that lid taken off. Let's blow off some steam in any family situation.
Right.
And dogs certainly pick up on that stuff. But as far as just work goes, what they're saying is, hey man, just cut it off at the door.
Jimmy in Chaska is texting in. His dog is getting stressed out when he's watching sporting events. As a Minnesota sports fan.
But what?
I think that he really needs to reconsider how he takes care of this dog.
Yeah, that's very true.
Whatever you do, Jimmy, don't expose your dog to the Vikings. Just tell the dog not allowed to be in the room if you're watching the Vikings. Save your dog the stress.
He says especially wild games.
All right, well, at least Jimmy has good taste in sports. That's good.
Yeah, about 10 years ago, the Orioles made a rare playoff appearance, and the teens were a bad time for the Baltimore Orioles. Mm-hmm. And not only was it our dog Zelda, I was watching an Orioles playoff game, and it was the first time my kids had seen me in that setting. And I don't sit during a baseball playoff game.
Really?
I stand
You're
the whole
pacing?
game. Every pitch is do or die.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah. I baseball playoffs, because I have them so infrequently with my team, when they happen, it's very, very intense. And so I had 2 teenage kids and a dog just like, what is going on with you? And I'm like, what did I say? What did I say? Don't talk to me. And I mean, Zelda finally she split. She was like, I got to get away from this guy. It's entirely unhealthy.
Yeah. You know what, though? A quick tangent. Baseball playoffs can be that way. Because, I mean, it is every pitch. Yeah. It increases the drama,
of course,
through the roof.
There's nothing quite like it. 651-989-ROCK. How dialed in are your pets to you? And here's another question. What would you do to extend your pet's life? How far would you go to keep those pets around? Our boy Tubby says, my cat Mitz knows if I have positive mojo by plopping his orange pterodactyl self on my chest when I'm laying down. Cats definitely know when you don't want to see them. That's when they show up.
Tubby not have positive mojo? That dude's great.
He is absolutely. Yeah. He's a geyser of positivity.
Yes.
Chris from Bloomington wrote in. He said, "Are you kidding me? I would give my dog Rio a kidney if she needed one," which is interesting because apparently 56% of pet owners in a recent survey said they would trade years off their own life if that meant extending their pet's lifespan.
I would.
What is wrong with you? Go get another pet. Live longer yourself. Give another pet a great life.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, that's fine. But I mean, if I okay, let's just say I live to be 90.
What's happening to Granddad? Well, he made a deal 20 years ago. He had this dog that you'll never know that he just couldn't bear the thought of parting with.
You know what, though? If he goes from 95 down to 90, what's the difference? And the dog gets to live for forever or for 10 years or 20 years
Hey,
longer?
man.
It doesn't get to live forever. It's just another few years.
I know some 95-year-olds, and they'd be like, "Hey, man, I still got some stuff. I still got to figure out what happens on The Last of Us. Don't strike me out yet. Come on, man."
You know what? I guess it depends on. I wasn't trying to get all detailed, but I guess it depends on what we're trading exactly. But if I'm trading a year to get the dog 10, sure.
Okay, all right. I mean, so there are conditions.
Yeah, sure.
Just as a general theme, I just think I love pets so much that if I would just go get more of them, like there's always another dog out there that needs a home.
I will say this: the grieving process on a dog is much shorter because it's like, okay, we got to grieve this, but we need to go get another dog.
Yeah,
because we can't have an empty house. I can't explain how empty a house is if you don't have a dog. I can't explain what it's like to have a dog, lose the dog, have that empty house. It's so empty. You have to replace the dog ASAP.
We went 6 years after Clementine died because we had 2 toddlers, and it was kind of like, I'm not bringing a puppy into this world.
Yeah, that's fair.
But the day we got Zelda, I was like, why did we wait so long? But the dog grief you get over it easier, I think, only because it's so pure and simple. There's no mixed emotions. It's just it's almost more viscerally painful at times, like shocking.
Yep.
But because there's no, well, he could be kind of duplicitous. Well, he did steal money from me that time. You don't have any gray area. It's just like, that was the dog. I love him. He's the best. 651-989-ROCK. We're getting a lot of text messages. Keep them coming. We'll definitely get back to this.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
We were discussing earlier the fact that a lot of pet owners say they would shave years off their own life to extend their pet's life. Mm-hmm. Not months. They said years. And we didn't have a specific, like, would you give up 2 years for your pet to live more 10? But just generally as a theme, would you give up some of your life for your pets? I think I love my pets. I think that's crazy talk.
Yeah, me too. Listen, the tortoise, one of them's going to live to be 120. So I need to take years from his life and add them to mine so we even out, because those suckers need to go into like a trust.
Oh, yeah, you're in a good spot. You're in a good pet situation because you can actually trade maybe some tortoise life for human life. But with doggies, I would do it. Again, it depends on the specifics, but I would do it.
No.
I'm not giving up decades, but I'd give up a year.
Nah, I don't. There's going to be a time when one of my kids has a kid, and all of a sudden I'm going to be like, we should have done this years ago. Grandpa Steve ain't going to be thinking back to, if only Chauncey, if I hadn't given him that year. I'd be pissed if I had done that. We get a little out of hand with our pets. I was walking two dogs ago, Clementine, greatest dog ever, walking in the park. And at a dog park, and she's over talking to some of her friends, and a big white Samoyed.
I'm sorry, she's talking to some of her friends?
Yeah. She ran the dog park. A big white Samoyed walked up from behind me, lifted his leg, and just peed right on my foot. Just right all over my shin and foot.
What?
That was nice.
And he started to. And I kicked him hard, right in his side. And his owner, this woman, ran at me, and she goes, "Wow!" like freaking out. And I go, "Your dog was just peeing on my leg."
Yeah.
And she said to me, an adult woman, "That's just his instinct." And I said, and my instinct when a dog pees on me is to kick him hard.
Yeah.
So he stops. And
learn some manners. And you're at the dog park.
And she huffed and puffed and walked her dog away and looked at everybody in the group for support. And everyone looked at her like she was the crazy person she was.
Exactly.
That's how that goes.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're crazy about our animals. That's all it comes down to. I mean, I didn't even think about the 120-year life expectancy of the tortoise. Yeah, you're getting a raw deal there.
Yeah.
You got to set up a tree. That's a lot of planning. That's a lot of afterlife planning for tortoises.
Well, the tortoises will be in the will. Yeah, I mean, you have to leave them with somebody.
You've got to make plans.
Yes, I'm leaving them with your kids, Paul.
Oh,
you've got to make multi-generational plans.
Yeah, I know. I have a friend. I'm trying to talk her daughter into becoming the tortoise caretaker. Kid's 10.
We are under a month away from the KQ Karaoke Cruise. It is June the 20th. We're going to have a good time, and we would like to bring you along. So we've got a couple callers on the horn right now, ready to play a game for tickets. 2 tickets on the table. The game is Beat the Jock. First up, we have Barry from Shakopee. Good morning, Barry.
Morning.
Barry, are you ready to play Beat the Jock?
I'm going to try.
All right, so you, go ahead, Ryder.
Okay, so the topic is famous dogs, D-O-G-S dogs. Do you want to play against Steve or do you want to play against Fletcher?
Oh, we'll go Fletcher today.
Oh, God.
All right.
Headphones off, dude.
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
All right, Barry. Paul is not listening in. We're going to set the timer for you, and you're going to give us some famous dogs. Ryder will count you in. Are you ready?
All right, you got 20 seconds, Barry. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Rin Tin Tin, Benji, Scooby-Doo, Marley and Me, Milo, Benji. I'm
3.
skipping here. What's the one from? Oh gosh.
Man, started strong right there. I got 5.
Same here.
All right.
All
right, Barry, we got 5. Paul, put your headphones back on, sir. All right, Paul. Barry got 5 answers.
Ooh, I think I can actually win one.
It's within your grasp, my friend. The category, as you may have heard, is famous dogs. Ryder, count them in.
Starts in 3, 2, 1.
Benji, Old Yeller, Einstein, Marley,
10 seconds.
Clifford,
6 seconds.
One more.
Scooby-Doo,
Oh,
Snoopy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beethoven.
Wow, he's on a roll. Look at that. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 8.
Wow.
Nice.
Fletcher pulling out 8, man.
How about the Reservoir Dog? Would that have counted?
That might have counted. Good effort for you, Barry, but I'm sorry, not enough. Fletcher brought his A game today. Thanks for calling in, brother.
Sorry, Barry.
So
I feel bad now,
we
though.
We can go to round 2.
It's your first W, man.
I
Congratulations.
know. I'm competitive as hell. I want to win everything, but I also feel bad that Barry got shafted.
I would have won that in one answer. All 101 of the Dalmatians. No one's given. No, that doesn't count. I couldn't get credit for. Okay, all right, fair enough.
Can you name them all?
That's not the point. All right, so we got another caller. We're gonna go for round 2 here. Try to give these tickets away. We got Paula from St. Paul. Paula, good morning.
Morning.
How you doing so far?
Good. Just got off work.
Oh, excellent.
Wow.
So it's
man. Should be firing on all cylinders.
yeah,
now,
you're
Paula.
ready to rock it. All right, so we're gonna play Beat the Jock. As Paul just competed, we'll still give you the choice, or is it just am I the default? I think we let Paula pick. Do you want to compete against me, or do you want to compete against Paul Fletcher?
I'm not sure. I don't. It don't matter.
All right, we'll go with Steve then.
It looks like even
that's
Steven.
fair.
Fair and square. All right.
Oh, I see what you did there.
You guys take over. I'm taking my headphones off.
Headphones are off and down on the counter.
All right, Paula.
Hang on a minute. I'm having a hard time hearing you guys.
Okay,
You
Paula.
talk a little louder.
We got you cranked up as high as we can. Paula, the topic is common burger toppings. You have 20 seconds. Ready, set, go.
Tomato, lettuce, onions. Let's see, bacon. What else? Mayonnaise.
10 seconds.
Buns.
Sure.
Let's see. Avocado. Not sauerkraut. No.
I would say yes, sauerkraut.
You going to give her that one? Burger toppings, by the way, Steve.
Yeah, burger toppings, yeah.
I got 8. I'm giving her buns because the bun does technically go on top of the burger.
Okay, you can put your headphones back on, Steve. All right, so, okay.
Paula, I think that was great. Steve,
I came up with 8 as well.
Steve, the number you need to beat is 8.
Mm-hmm.
The
Burger
category
toppings.
is burger toppings.
All right.
Ready?
Let's do
Set,
it.
Go.
Bacon, lettuce, tomato, cheese, pickles, relish, mustard, ketchup, peppers, I just said that. Fried egg, avocado,
5 seconds.
grilled mushrooms.
Boom.
12.
Yes. Nice.
Wow.
Oh, you all did me.
It's National
Where
Burger
was
Day.
cheese? How did you miss cheese?
I didn't have cheese? I thought I did.
No, you did.
Oh, I
Paula
did.
didn't. I was shocked.
Paula.
How did I forget the pickles and the cheese?
I don't know. You came up with bun and sauerkraut, but you didn't come up with pickles and cheese.
Oh, wow. Man, that's a tough one. I couldn't drop that one on National Burger Day.
No.
Nice. First wins for both of you.
Man.
Paula, thanks for playing. I appreciate you checking in. Have
Thanks,
a good
Paula.
morning.
Thank you, Paula.
Wow. All right. So we're not as inept as I would have thought. All
We're
right.
feeling it a little today.
I feel better about ourselves around here.
Yeah. Don't even feel like a bag of trash anymore.
What do you? A bag of trash?
Well, that's another word I was going to put in there, but I cleaned it up a bit.
I got that. I appreciate that. All right, well, let's have a little cover battle here. Let's have a vote because let's take a couple of heavyweights, not like some punk band doing a folk song. How about a rock band doing a rock and roll band? Like let's get a couple of the big wigs here.
Okay.
So you got the Beatles on one hand, biggest band ever, the biggest band that has ever been or will ever be,
inarguably,
and then you've got a band, one of the biggest American bands ever, if not globally, Aerosmith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very famously, Aerosmith, 1978, for their greatest hits album, as well as the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club film soundtrack, covered the Beatles Come Together. So let's see. And this station plays both versions, as do many rock stations all around the planet. I want to get your thoughts. Who did it best? Growing up as a Beatles fanatic, when the movie came out, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, that starred the Bee Gees and Peter Frampton, it's just that the movie's terrible. It's just a whole bunch of people with a lot of cocaine said, let's make a movie in honor of the Beatles music, and that's the result you got.
Right.
But the highlight of the movie, for a kid that loved the Beatles and actually loved the Bee Gees, I thought it was terrible, except for the Aerosmith part was cool. I was like, I might have to get me back into some Aerosmith all of a sudden. I was kind of on the fence with Aerosmith.
Okay.
There were 2 performances in that movie, that one and Earth, Wind & Fire. I was like, oh, my God, that's amazing. But the question still remains.
Yeah, does that change your feelings on the original?
The original or the cover? The Beatles or Aerosmith? Text in your answer, Beatles or Aerosmith, 651-989-ROCK. Curious to hear your thoughts on that one.
This one is a no-brainer to me.
Okay.
It's the Beatles.
Okay.
I picked up on something that I can't relinquish, and I don't want to spread it to other people, but we're talking about it, so I'm going to. I feel like Steven Tyler's really nasally. I don't know if he had a cold that day. In that version.
That's called the 70s. That's what he used to sing like.
He sounds like this when he's singing, and I can't get past it. It's not in all Aerosmith songs. It's that one.
He experienced a lot of nasal blockage in the 70s.
Okay.
By his own admission. Quite famously.
Start with a C and end with an O-cane?
My man was putting all kinds of things up his nose. If you listen to the early Aerosmith records, there was a lot of, he would sing back and here. He had like 2 different entire voices, 2 different presentations of his vocal performances. It was crazy. I can't see. And by the way, Fletcher, I agree with you. The Beatles version's superior, but to me, it's very simple. And it's not because the Beatles are better. I'm not going to say that, but it comes down to just simply the drumming. Ringo is such a feel drummer. He's the great swing, the great feel, and that's not what Joey Kramer brings to the table. And when I hear the Aerosmith version, it plods, and that's just me, drummer guy. But it's just like, oh my God, dude, just take the saddlebags off and fly, Joey. Doesn't have the vibe of a Ringo drum track.
I think the song as a whole feels very scientific the way that Aerosmith does it. It's very straightforward, and whereas the Beatles are kind of just feeling the flow the entire time.
Well, at the same time, Aerosmith, I would imagine Aerosmith was told, we're going to put out your greatest hits record and we want one new song for it. What are you doing for that beat? You going to be in that Beatles record? Are you going to be on that Beatles movie? I'm sure it was a conversation behind the scenes where it's suddenly like, let's do a Beatles song. That'll be cool. I'm high. Let's do it right now. And then it was like, bang. They probably didn't take a whole lot of time with it because most bands, when you're doing a cover, the fun of it is you can just go wing it. Yeah. So you don't have to make this definitive version that people listen to. It's like, you already know the song. Here's our version of it. So they're not taking it quite as seriously.
But just growing up past the Beatles, I feel like the Aerosmith version is the one that I've heard the most and is the definitive version.
Really?
Like when you say Come Together to me, that is the first noise that pops in my head, even though I know the Beatles did it first. Right. So I would just say, because it's ubiquitous, it is freaking everywhere. That Aerosmith version, they probably win the cover battle.
Wow.
See, I grew up post-Beatles as well, and I still say Beatles.
Man.
What you're saying to me, though, is that Steven Tyler probably recorded that song with a nosebleed.
It could have had a nosebleed, but he knew exactly what to put up there to keep the blood from coming out. Right away. Oh, by the way, Pat just texted in. How about the Gary Clark Jr. version of Come Together? Which I'll admit,
say that.
I've not heard it.
Oh, well, I was going to save that. Spoiler, I was going to save that for another day.
Oh, really? Okay, right on.
Yeah.
This station actually plays that version as well. We play 3 different versions of Come Together. And the Gary Clark Jr. version is badass.
You know what? I did hear it, and I didn't realize who it was.
Yeah, it's badass.
Joe texted in simply, Aerosmith sucks. So, Joe, we're going to assume you meant to text in the word Beatles.
Beatles, because I think default, then your vote goes to Aerosmith.
Yeah, there's a few. Oh, see, that now we just opened this door. The Who, Summertime Blues live at Leeds, which I will say unquestionably untouchable. The Summertime Blues by The Who, Young Man, Ain't Got Nothing in the World Today. The whole live at Leeds record, man, that's... For anyone who says, I never really got into The Who, just work some live at Leeds in. Mm-hmm. Do you know what? Friends don't let friends not listen to live at Leeds. I think that's the message of the day.
I understand.
Beatles or Aerosmith, 651-989-ROCK.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Yeah.
There's a university in New York City called Pace University. I've heard of it. I don't know anything about it, but it's just one of those things I've seen before. It's a real place, is my point. They just had their graduation ceremony last week.
Okay.
The Pace University graduates for 2025. A big ceremony, caps and gowns. It looks just like every other big college graduation ceremony you've ever seen. But I want to play you a little bit of what it sounded like as each individual graduate came across the stage and was given their diploma.
Okay.
Kelly Danko, Sophia Cicero, Emily Acosta, Sabrina Ali, Jeremy Brosnick,
Hayden Tops,
Caitlin Egan, Sierra Janes.
So, okay, they did not hire some professional broadcaster with that perfect delivery voice.
It sounded like a game show.
And it wasn't. It does sound like a game show host. And it wasn't
like they were missing my dad in the background with the air horn.
It wasn't the... What? Hold on. Quick diversion.
What?
Is that your dad brought the air horn to your graduation?
To my high school graduation. Oh, no, wait. It was my dad, like, screamed really loud and told me to take off my sunglasses, which I did not do.
Of course not.
And then it was, I think, Jeff, my best friend's dad. They brought the air horn. But we're so close together in the alphabet.
Sure. Hungover or no?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, sunglasses. It was just a fashion statement.
It was in the middle of a football field.
Right.
It was like 89 degrees out. I was wearing the bikini underneath the cap and gown. It was so freaking hot. I looked real smart that day.
Yeah, there you go.
And you were auditioning for a John Hughes film, perhaps.
Maybe.
But back to Pace University. So we heard the voice, and this was also, I should say, this is not the head of the broadcasting department either. No, the voice reading every graduate's name was nobody. It was AI. It was artificial intelligence.
Okay.
And every graduate, as they approached the stage and received, they were walking across the stage individually, they would pull out their cell phone, and a gentleman was standing there with a scanner, like at a grocery store checkout, a hand scanner.
Oh.
And they were told ahead of time, if you want your name to be pronounced correctly, then you have to, they offered you a little QR code where you could phonetically spell your name. So the guy would click on your phone, he would scan it, beep, and the AI would get the information you provided and therefore correctly pronounce your name.
Huh. Like getting your ticket scanned at a concert.
Exactly. Or I just see it as a grocery store. I'm surprised someone I wanted to hear bunch broccoli, no bag. I wanted to hear that. But
I would have messed with them for sure.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, Barney plutonium. I mean, something. Just come up with anything. But no, so think about this. And by the way, a lot of students did it. We're still not too thrilled about it. People saying, nothing says we really value you like a synthetic voice butchering your name after 4 years and many tens of thousands of dollars.
Okay, I skipped my college graduation because it was going to be in like August and I didn't want to deal with it. I just wanted to be done. But high school, like there was like 550 kids in the class. We all handed a card with our name on it.
Okay.
And Steve's looking at me with a blank face because there was only 15 kids in his class.
12.
But we handed a card to the person that was going to read our name with our name on it.
Wow.
What about you, Fletcher? Did they just know you?
Well, yes, of course they did. They knew. They saw what a celebrity I would become. And, we had 652, and we were at the Target Center, Osseo High School.
Holy smokes.
But like, why?
So
you know what we had? We had humans. Like, what? Why can't we just have a human being say your names?
I did. It was a human, but I still handed him a card.
How many were in your class?
Like 550.
Okay, yeah.
His name was Luke Mockenbacher. His name was so long it couldn't fit in like those standardized test thingies. And I handed him my card and I said, if you mispronounce my name, I will bleep and bleep you or something along those lines.
Nice.
So, yeah.
With the sunglasses on.
With the sunglasses on.
Yeah.
He did not screw it up.
I didn't get any of that. I
would hope they knew everybody by name in a 12.
Oh, that was easy. No, that was simple. In fact, it was such a small. I mean, I actually received an award at my high school graduation, and when the guy stood on stage to start explaining what it was called, the Center College Award. Center College is a small school in the state of Kentucky, a university, very prestigious, private, like. You got to have a 4.0 or $1 billion to get into this school. So when the guy stood up and he goes, hey, this is the first annual Center College Award, I immediately tuned him out. I wasn't listening to a word the guy said. And it was simply, you know what it was? It was kind of like the Coaches Award in sports. It was like, hey, there's one student here who, and I'd had a weird year, family stuff going on, and it was basically hey, you're a tough kid, showed resilience, and you never lost your character. Yeah. I guess, because I didn't hear a word the guy said until I finally, after 6 minutes of this guy rambling on, he said, Stephen Gorman. And I went, what? What happened? I was so checked out.
You got the Gloria Gaynor Award.
And
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I walked up there, and I was like, thanks. And then it was was my English teacher's husband, and he gave me the award, and they took a picture of us, and I looked at him and I go, "What is this for?" And he laughed. And he goes, I was looking at you. I could tell you weren't listening. I was like, nah, not a chance. But for college, I didn't have a college graduation just because I dropped out. I was getting too close, and I was like, if I graduate, I'm going to have to use this degree, so I better quit right now. Okay. But when my brothers graduated, they actually graduated together at the university where we all went. You didn't have individual names. It was several different colleges, and he'd say, the College of Arts and Sciences, stand up and be acknowledged. And then they would stand and then sit. That was it.
Wow.
I was like, wow,
right.
Hey, ain't messing around.
Were there a lot of people in that class, too?
Yeah, hundreds. His university. I'm telling you, it's a big
right, no,
college.
that's what I'm saying. Like 500, 800?
Oh,
if you had to guess?
Got to be over 1,000. Total,
okay, well, that makes
least.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense to have it by group. But I mean, I graduated 652 kids at the Target Center, for crying out loud.
That's huge.
You know what I mean? And
huge.
They managed to say everybody's name, and it didn't even require AI.
But you know what?
Sometimes it can still go wrong.
It can absolutely go wrong. And to answer your question, why not have a human read the names? Well, Thomas Jefferson University, TJU to the locals.
Oh, really?
Maybe. In Philadelphia. It's a nursing school, I believe, in Philadelphia. And as we were just discussing the fact that a university in New York City this year used an AI-generated voice to read the graduates' names. Paul Fletcher. Steve Gorman.
Yeah.
It sounded like, you said it right, it sounded like a game show host.
I'm jealous when you do that, though. Because I don't have a voice like that.
You don't have that voice.
I sound like, a cartoon character. Anyway,
well, listen, we can't all grow up pretending to be on the radio. But Thomas Jefferson University, quite famously, at their graduation last year, they also had somebody reading the names of the graduates, but it wasn't an AI game show host. It was a real person.
Okay.
And let's just say it didn't go perfectly.
Okay.
Sire Uvun Jinju Brinon. Victoria Lee Zubeth Ross. Marlena Zobeth Camp.
It just looks so
Tom Moldmay. Thomas.
That poor Thomas kid. He's like, I can't let this one go.
It would have been great if he'd walked up and said, it's actually Thomas.
Right? Yeah. What was his last name? Johnson?
His last name was actually mispronounceable, and I don't think she even tried on that one. So I pulled some of these names. They're really, really common names.
Okay.
If you guys want to give these a shot, I'm going to play them for you. Tell me what you think these names might be.
Okay.
Here's the first one.
Sire Uvun Jinju Brinon.
Any guesses?
Sayud.
What?
Cyrus Vance. I don't know.
That's incorrect.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be this name.
Sire Uvun Jinju Brinon.
I can't even
Sarah Virginia Brennan.
Come on.
Yes.
That's how it was pronounced?
Yes.
Who?
And it was supposedly spelled phonetically on the card, and they handed it to this woman.
Oh my God.
And she couldn't do it.
Could you play it one more time?
Sure.
Sire Uvun Jinju Brinon.
What is happening? Is the person having a stroke?
Man.
All right, let's give you one more. Here's another one.
All right.
Marlena Zobeth Camp.
Okay, one more time.
Marlena Zobeth Camp.
These are three very common names.
It's
Marlena. Marlena.
Well, I think it's
Mary something, maybe.
Mary Elizabeth.
You're very close, Steve.
Let me hear it one more time.
Marlena Zobeth Camp.
Mary Elizabeth
Camp.
You are so close on that one. It's Molly Elizabeth Camp.
Molly Elizabeth Camp. Okay, Malila Zibeth. Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, man. Yeah, this poor woman. I think she just gave up halfway through. And I can't let this go without mentioning our favorite substitute teacher from the inner city.
Ron.
Oh,
where are you?
It's as good as
Where
it gets.
is Ron right now? Here. Why didn't you answer me the first time I said it, huh? I'm just asking. I said it like 4 times. So why didn't you say it the first time I said Ron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron?
Son of a...
Oh, Key and Peele.
I would love to have been in that class as long as I'm not Aaron.
Man, Key and Peele. That might be a good next, some rainy afternoon, nasty day next time we have one. I might just do a 3-hour Key and Peele rabbit hole.
You know what else we need? We need Key and Peele to do the commencement at Thomas Jefferson University next time is what we need.
That's exactly what we need. It's time for headlines, Paul.
2 pigeons got loose on a Delta flight yesterday. The first one didn't feel like flying so much, so it was easily snagged and removed by a baggage handler. But just as the plane was taxiing for takeoff, a second one was discovered and had other plans.
Was the pigeon, was he having diarrhea like that guy on the flight to Spain last year?
Just took flight through the cabin and freaked people out.
That would be a little off-putting. I grant it. A bird flying through the plane would be a shock.
Bunch of Midwest ladies not holding their crap together. This is a Minneapolis to Madison flight.
Correct. Same baggage handler got that one removed as well. So props to said baggage handler. Not so bad. It moved on to Madison without issue, by the way, the flight. Guitar icon Rick Derringer died on Memorial Day due to his heart suddenly giving out. His wife, Jenda, told TMZ that he died peacefully after being taken off life support following a medical issue. He's best known for jams like Hang On Sloopy, Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, played guitar on Free Ride, produced Weird Al's Eat It, as well as Hulk Hogan's Real American.
Toured a lot of years with Ringo in the All-Star Band as well.
Wow.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. One of those guys who everybody that ever worked with him was like, love that guy.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, anecdotally, I've never heard a bad word about Rick Derringer. Nice job, bro.
Very good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, rest easy, sir. The enhanced games are going to feature athletes who will not be drug tested, and it's going to debut next year, a year from now in May, in Las Vegas. What do you think about this?
I think that's going to be a bunch of shriveled up sacks out there running real fast.
The athletes will compete in 5 core sports, including swimming and track, and are encouraged to use whatever enhancements they want. Anti-doping agencies are calling the enhanced games a, quote, clown show, while organizers of the enhanced games are suggesting that anti-doping rules are outdated.
Not that they would be recognized, but I'll be very curious to see if any world records fall. If any posted times of no one's ever done this in this amount of time, and then the doping games. I want to see because something tells me they're not the cream of the crop naturally gifted athletes to begin with.
Right.
No. Those guys are usually found earlier in life and then put into the quote-unquote proper channels.
Yeah.
But that said, I'd still love to see someone get up there and
watch.
Are they doing shot put and discus, any of that stuff?
It says only 5 sports, swimming and track are 2 of them, but two things for me is this is going to be a B squad. I want to see if enhancements can take a B squad to the A squad, but also I want to just see if some guy's calf explodes as he's running the 100-yard dash.
Absolutely. That'd be great.
That would be great.
It would be fantastic. Anybody wouldn't watch that.
Yeah. Oh, my God. All right, so today's National Hamburger Day. DoorDash looked at the most popular type of burger in all 50 states. Right off the bat, we might need, I'm calling BS on this. They claim chicken burgers are the most popular type of burger in the U.S. I don't even know what that's a chicken sandwich. It's not a burger. They say the rankings are based on what people ordered the most last year, and they claim hamburgers and cheeseburgers, the proper ones, were only ordered in 14 states, whereas 17 were ordering chicken burgers.
Okay. As the number 1 most ordered burger. That makes no sense to me.
No.
What if this is actually we would call it a chicken patty?
Right.
Are they mistaking that for a chicken burger?
It doesn't elaborate on this.
Like a giant
DoorDash,
chicken nugget?
Is DoorDash now a division of Tyson Foods?
Yeah.
I mean, what chicken industry is behind these findings?
Unless you're grinding it down and rolling up a patty, to me, it's not a chicken burger. That's a chicken sandwich, Chick-fil-A or McDonald's Crispy McChicken, whatever.
Real quick diversion. I did see that on the campus of the University of Oklahoma, there's the world's first all-you-can-eat Chick-fil-A.
Uh-oh.
You can go in there and
Chick-fil-A trying to go bankrupt?
You can pay an extra little fee, and then it's basically just go to town. I wouldn't worry about that now, but 25 years ago, I would have put a hurting on that place. Good God Almighty!
It's fine with me if they go out of business.
I've said enough. Hey man, they make a great chicken sandwich. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
put that pickle in there. Come on.
I don't disagree, but I'd be fine if they went under.
The Minnesota Twins make a good baseball team.
Yeah,
17 of their last 21. Last night they beat the Tampa Rays 4-2. Joe Ryan with a fantastic performance. 6 innings, 5 hits, given up only 1 run. Tampa Bay was on a 6-game winning streak until last night. Cody Clemens, boy, what a find for the Minnesota Twins. Nice pickup.
Yeah.
In his 50 at-bats since joining the club, he has done this 5 times.
0-1 pitch to Clemens, and he drives it deep to center, and that's going to carry out of here.
No.
He should have at least won a teddy bear or something.
Yeah, he should have won a teddy bear. So that clunk sound you heard, that's not the bat hitting the ball. That's the ball going into what looks like a deer stand out in the middle of left center field. There's just a little box where there's a cameraman. They're playing at Steinbrenner Field. They're playing at the Yankees Spring Training Park because Tropicana Field was destroyed in Hurricane Milton. So there's just a solo cameraman in a box out in left center, and there's a small hole, and that ball somehow found its way right into that hole, into the box, and just about took that cameraman's kneecap off, and almost destroyed his laptop.
Yeah. Sounded like it landed in Danny's spittoon out in center field.
That's exactly what it sounded like.
Good Lord.
But the main thing here is Cody Clemens. Nice run for the kid.
Yeah, nice work, and Twins win.
Yeah. Any chance that he has to make everyone forget his dad, he's going to take advantage of it.
Good luck with that.
The Minnesota Lynx are 5-0. Last night, they welcomed Kayla McBride back to the roster, who was out for the first 4 games. Fine start to a team that we shouldn't take for granted. Just because they're good every year doesn't mean it's not great that they're good this year. Mm-hmm. And then finally, the Timberwolves, win or be done. That's tonight's order of business in Oklahoma City. The Thunder, with home court, probably I haven't even looked. I meant to. I got to think they're a major favorite going into the game. The Vegas books would probably have them at at least 170, 180 at least. We'll see. But the Wolves, if the bench plays like the bench played in Game 4 and the starters played the way they played in Game 3, well then, hey man, we got ourselves a stew. We'll see what happens.
Play like it. The season's on the line. Maybe, I don't know.
Get in there. Let your conscious mind and your subconscious desperation meet in the middle and find a pattern and a recipe for success, gentlemen. We're cheering for you. Mm-hmm. I will be watching the game until it occurs to me, if it ever does, that this is gone. It's over. It's lost.
Over. Bye-bye.
Hopefully, I watch the whole thing. I'd love to think the Game 6 is back here Friday night.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. The Beatles or Aerosmith? Specifically, the song Come Together. Beatles recorded it first. They wrote it. They produced it. It was on Abbey Road. Less than 10 years later, 9 years later, Aerosmith recorded it for their greatest hits album, 1978. You've heard both a billion times. Which one's better?
The Beatles.
Did Aerosmith outdo the Beatles?
I mean, they're freaking everywhere.
As Ryder would have you believe.
Yeah.
It charted well.
Or it certainly did.
Aerosmith was at 20. I looked it up. Was at 23 on the Billboard Hot 100. That's pretty good.
At a time when that meant something.
Yeah.
Or the Beatles. A lot of results. We're going to share them later. Well, before the end of the show, we'll let you know what you guys think.
It's pretty close. So I would get your votes in now. And if you text in, like I think Joe did, Aerosmith sucks, that actually goes to Aerosmith based on the way the poll is set up.
So just put Aerosmith or Beatles and then save your op-ed piece for the next text. Follow it up. But the headline is either Beatles or Aerosmith, and then weigh in with your opinions on a separate text. 651-989-ROCK. As of right now, looks like the Fab Four still on top of the pyramid right here.
But not a total runaway, which I was expecting that.
Well, if this were an election, it would be. But yes, 64% Beatles, 36 Aerosmith.
Wow. Okay.
Roughly.
Yeah. That's about. Yeah. I guess I would have thought it'd be like 75-25. But
I was thinking it was going to be like 95-5. Well, I was going to be on the outside looking in.
But you waved that Aerosmith banner proudly, Ryder. You stated the case. For the younger listener, the less discerning listener, as I prefer it.
The less discerning
listener, the ones that are bad hearing and are drunk a lot.
A lot of text messages came in. But see, I like this one. This one came in and said, Chris wrote, Aerosmith, because my dad had the cassette in his truck and we listened to it when he visited farms. And then he said, now how about Joe Cocker or John Belushi? Okay.
We can do that one later, yeah.
These are good. I like the cover battles.
Yeah.
And I like all the suggestions. A lot of people say, well, what about this? Or what about that? So, always a good conversation and a good vote getter, if you will. So we'll be getting to some more cover battles soon enough. If you go to Norway, find yourself in Norway. Yeah. You're already pretty high up on the map. But if you go to the very northernmost tip of Norway, where you're already well into the Arctic Circle, and then you either get on a plane or a boat and go many, many miles north of there, you will come to an island known as Svalbard. Excuse me. Svalbard.
Excuse you. Did
What's
you
that?
Sneeze?
Svalbard. Oh.
It sounded like you sneezed.
Gesundheit. Svalbard has now, for the last few years, had a brewery that is up and running. Svalbard is an island where there's not a single natural element to beer that's found other than the water you might need. But it's not like they got hops and barley or any of that stuff. Everything anyone does on this island in any realm is imported. Okay, it's just a vast Arctic no man's land for the most part. There's a little town there. They have a little airport. But now there's a brewery, the Svalbard Brewery, and they are by far the northernmost brewery on Earth. And they do have their claim to fame is, well, we use glacier water. Oh, this glacier that's been here for 2,000 years, that's the source of water for all of our beer.
That's very fancy.
That alone makes me think, I think I need to go there and drink some of that beer.
Yeah. You guys know how much I love beer, saying sarcastically, and I desperately want to try this beer. Just that glacier water, I'm sure, is like a game changer.
Oh, whatever. Blind taste test, you guys aren't going to be able to tell the difference between the glacier water beer and a PBR.
Well, hold on. I know a PBR when I taste it. Okay, so just make no mistake.
I feel like I would as well. I've had a lot of those.
The reason I think this beer is so good is because by the time you get to this place from wherever, by the time you actually get into this brewery and walk in and they have their tasting events, I would drink the reindeer piss and think this is amazing. Check this out. It's called Svalbard. It just looks amazing. It truly looks like it's just winter all year long. And there's just a handful of people that are like, you know what? I mean, what else are we going to do? Let's just make some beer.
Sure. It's like Wisconsin. It's cold. It gets real dark in the winter, and you need to have about 6 or 7 bars in every town.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Sign me up.
But
does he need a radio guy?
There's just something about I don't know, something about I can't say I've ever had glacier beer. I can't say I've ever had a chunk of glacier ice in my hands, for that matter.
I have actually had a chunk of glacier ice at the base of the largest glacier in Europe, in Iceland.
Okay, Polyflex.
It's true.
Wow.
I've been there too, dude. It's fine. It was kind of dirty.
It wasn't. What? Well, we weren't at the same place then.
Iceland was dirty?
Yeah, like the glacier was pretty dirty.
Well, okay,
there was a black sand beach and all this kind of stuff.
That's not dirt. It's cool lava rock. It's not dirt.
It was dirt because you and all your tourist friends were mucking the place up the way you do.
You have glacier. Glacier breaks off into bay. The dirty icebergs that you're seeing are before they turn over and you expose the perfect blue that's underneath. And then they eventually break up and they end up on the beach. And I picked one up, dipped it in the water to rinse off the dirty black sand, as you call it.
Yeah.
And I had that thing in my hand and I'm hesitating to say sucked on it for a good 35 minutes. And it was absolutely the most pristine, unbelievable tasting water I've ever had in my life.
Wow, in your face, Ryder. How's that feel?
And our Icelandic guide said he estimated that the piece I was sucking on was there when the Vikings were in Iceland. That's when he estimated.
Oh, man, now you're getting Viking STDs.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Fletcher taking no prisoners.
Oh, my God. Iceland is amazing. And so I want to go to Svalbard and have a blonde.
Man,
let's go.
I met Bjork once, but that's not as cool as going to Iceland.
Dude, they freaking worship her there.
Well, with good reason.
Well, yeah. They worship
she
anything.
Is such a strange person to have a conversation with. Today's last word. There's an old wives' tale. It's been around for centuries. It says a pregnant woman who suffers from a lot of heartburn is much more likely to have a hairy baby. It's one of those things people said for years. Oh, she got heartburn? You're going to have a hairy baby. A study in 2006, some scientists were like, let's just disprove this once and for all. And it turned out it's true.
Really? So if you have heartburn, your baby's going to have a full head of hair?
Well, what they found was heartburn and hairy babies are both linked directly to a woman's estrogen levels. So there is a connection. So it's an absolutely fair and trustworthy indicator. An awful lot of heartburn means that baby's going to come out looking like,
Sasquatch.
Well, I don't mean body hair. It's just on the head, a full head of hair. It's not going to come out looking like Yul Brynner. Let's just put it that way.
But it's unlikely it'll come out looking like Telly Savalas either.
Well, another bald person. You just reiterated the point. All right, listen. Tomorrow on the show, Gorman in the Morning.
I just wanted to say Telly Savalas.
We're going to play a game. You got it, baby. We're going to play Rank You Very Much on the show tomorrow.
What's the topic?
Always exciting. Well, there's always some debate. It's a lively debate around here for what the topic might be.
Okay.
So, we might, if you have a suggestion you want to text in, feel free, 651-989-ROCK. What should we rank you very much? I'm going to say, maybe it's the best food you eat out of a can, or maybe it's the worst superhero names. How about that?
Lame superhero names is fun.
That's what you want to do? All right, let's do lame superhero names.
Lamest superhero names.
Yes.
We're doing that tomorrow on the show. I look forward to that. Also, Greg Coleman is coming in. He'll be at Acme starting tonight. A very funny guy. Local man, Greg Coleman. I've spoken with him before. I can't wait to talk with him. Fletcher, what do you have coming up today?
I'm going to play songs. Nice. And we'll be in search of Minnesota's greatest voices for the KQ karaoke cruise. We'll give those away. Text keyword at 12:30.
Right on. Well, keep the radio dial right where it is right now for all of that. We'll be back tomorrow morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.